Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Storm of Swords, Female Rimuru X Demon Slayer, by KyleBayan. Chapter 16 Aftermath. Rimuru, Pav, Tanjiro and I have successfully beheaded the Lower Moon 5. Tanjiro collapsed from exhaustion, and I fell to my knees, trying to catch my breath. Rimuru. Man, that was exhausting. Oh yeah, we should probably get his blood. Thud asterisk. As I pulled out a knife to get a sample, I heard a thud in front of me and Tanjiro. We glanced to see what it was and saw Nezuko on the ground. Rimuru. Tanjiro. Nezuko. I collected the blood sample and gave it to Yushiro's cat. I then helped Tanjiro up and we slowly walked toward Nezuko. Tanjiro. We won. We actually did it, Rimuru. Yeah, we sure did. By the way, those moves you use against that demon, was that? Tanjiro nods. Tanjiro. It was the Hinokami Kagura. I recalled our family's ritual that father performed, and it manifested into a technique. Rimuru. That was impressive. Suddenly, Tanjiro grasped his chest in pain. Rimuru. Tanjiro. What's wrong? Tanjiro. My whole body is aching, and my vision is getting blurry. Rimuru. Tanjiro. Hang in there, Tanjiro, and I flinched. I sensed the presence of a demon very close to us. Rimuru. What the? I am sensing the presence of something evil behind us. Didn't sense anything coming. Tanjiro. The scent of blood got stronger, and it didn't give off the smell of ash like usual. Rimuru. Tanjiro. That could only mean he's still alive. Don't tell me he survived that. Rui. Did you both think you defeated me? Once we heard the voice of the demon, we both quickly turned around and saw it's still alive, and it's using its threads to lift his head. Rui. Did your delusion bring you a brief moment of joy? I cut my head off myself using my own threads. Before you two could do the job yourselves, and if I had done it a moment too late. The demon glanced at me with rage and broke what was left of Inosuke's swords. Rui. You would have actually killed me. I don't know what you're planning to do with my blood or what the deal is with that cat, but it doesn't matter. Because I will kill you both. Tanjiro barely managed to raise his sword to the demon but failed. Rui. Oh, and don't worry, I don't want your sister anymore. I haven't been this enraged in a long time. The demon began to approach us as it returned and reached its head. Tanjiro and I began walking backward as we both had enough strength to fight. Rui. I wonder why you both weren't burned to cinders earlier in that explosion. Me and my threads and I were the only things that were set ablaze. I don't know if it relates to her power, but it has enraged me all the same. Rimuru. Now that he mentioned it, how did we not get burned by Nezuko's flames? I quickly shook off those thoughts. The demon created more of those red threads. Rui. Now I can carry you all up with no regrets. I quickly took a breath to recover my stamina as fast as I could. Rui. Blood demon art. Murderous eye basket. Suddenly, we were surrounded by a cage of red threads. Rimuru. No, we can't die, not like this. Unable to see a way out of the situation, I closed my eyes to prepare for the worst. Suddenly I sensed the presence of someone familiar. I waited for THR threads but nothing happened. Tanjiro. Somebody's here. Is it Zenitsu? I opened my eyes and saw Giyu and strands of the threads scattered around him. Rimuru. Mr. Tomioka. Tanjiro. You're here, Giyu. You both did a good job holding out until I got here. He glanced at me. Giyu. You've gotten stronger, Rimuru. I have been training, you know, and I've mastered all forms of water breathing. Giyu returned his attention to the demon. Giyu. You haven't learned all forms of water breathing. Rimuru. What do you mean? Tanjiro. You're saying there's an 11th form? Giyu. Just let me handle this, and I'll show you. Rui. You're like a torrent of insignificant insects, constantly getting in my way. Red threads began to form in front of the demon. Rui. Blood demon art. Cutting thread rotation. Giyu. Water breathing 11th form. Rui. It doesn't matter what technique you use on me. Giyu. Dead calm as the demon sends his attack towards Giyu. it suddenly becomes nothing but scattered threads being blown by the wind. Rui. What? Tanjiro. Dead. Calm. Rimuru. Mr. Tomioka, what did you do? Giyu. This is a technique I developed myself, called dead calm. It is the ultimate defensive technique in water breathing. Rui. That cannot be. The strongest threads were destroyed. That cannot be, I'll try it again. They stretched its arms out to try again. Giyu then approached it. I blinked and suddenly saw that the demon was already decapitated and Giyu was already behind it. Rui Pav, after the demon slayer destroyed my blood demon art, I stretched out my arms to try again. I blinked for a second, then the next thing I knew the demon slayer was standing behind me and I was beheaded. As my heat falls, the last thing I saw was the two slayers that enraged me approaching their so-called sister. Rui. I'll kill them. I'll kill them. I'll kill those three, no matter the cost. Just then I began see and hear things. I saw my mountain is snowing and mother spoke to me. Mother demon. What is it do you want, Rui? What do you mean by family? Rui. I'm not sure. I have no memories of when I was human, you see. Mother demon. Is that why you made us pretend to be your family? Suddenly the rest of my family appeared. Rui. I thought that, if I could feel a family's bond, my memories would come back. I then saw the two slayer holding the girl in embrace. My eyes wide as I finally know the bond of a real family. Afterwards my memories returned to me, and I recalled the last words of my real parents. Filled circle, filled circle, filled circle, filled circle, filled circle. Flashback many years ago. Third person Pav. In a snowy day, Rui, who was still human, is standing in the streets. Rui watches the group of boys were playing in the snow, wanting to play with them. Her approaches them. As Rui tries to join the group of boys, he falls into the snow and begins coughing. Rui then lies on his back and stares at the blue sky. Rui. Rui. A woman called out to him. The woman approached Rui as her footsteps left marks in the snow. The woman got down and held Rui. Rui, what are you doing? You know you're not supposed to be outside, you'll get sick. Rui glanced at the woman. Rui. Mother. The woman picked up Rui and took him back to their house. Days went by until one night when Rui is unable to sleep, he was visited by a man with red eyes, Muzan Kibutsuji. Muzan. You poor thing. I'll save you from this harsh life. Rui. You will? Muzan. I shall. However, the only thing I want in return is that you never mention my name ever. Rui flinched as Muzan approached him. Muzan gave Rui blood which turned him into a demon. Muzan then left. After Rui transformed into a demon, he killed a human and brought it home for him to eat. Suddenly, while Rui was in the middle of eating, his parents came to check on him. They gasped in shock and fear as Rui has become a demon and devoured a human. Rui's mother fell to her knees crying, devastated that her son became a monster. Rui's father was in utter disbelief. Father. What have you done? What on earth have you done, Rui? Answer me. Unable to answer, Rui stayed silent. The next night, while Rui is asleep, his parents entered his room. The father held a knife in his hand while tears flowed from his eyes. Father. Rui, listen. We're going to die with you, so please forgive us. The father held the knife high ready to kill Rui as the mother cried. As the father was about to stab Rui, Rui suddenly woke up and mortality wounded them. Afterwards, Rui sat on the porch in shock, wondering why his parents tried to kill him. Rui. They aren't my parents. They're importers. Our bond wasn't genuine at all. Mother. I'm sorry. Rui heard a voice and glanced at his dying mother. Rui. I thought she is dead, mother. I am sorry, Rui. I am sorry that I couldn't give you a strong, healthy body. Rui gasped in horror as his eyes widened, realizing his parents are real and he has killed them. Rui. Fa father was planning to kill himself, to atone for killing me? Muzan suddenly appeared. Muzan. It was all your parents' fault for refusing to accept you for who you are. Take pride in your own power. Devastated for what Rui has done, he forced himself to believe Muzan's words and repressed his memories of being human or what he has done. End of flashback. Filled circle, filled circle, filled circle, filled circle, filled circle. Meanwhile, in another area of Mount Nadagumo, after Tanjiro decapitated the demon behind the controlled slayers, Murata and Kazuma went to the direction where Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Rimuru went to see what happened. They stumbled upon Ozaki. She explained to them what had happened. After a while of deciding what to do, Murata continued to look for the trio while Kazuma carried Ozaki down the mountain and will catch up to Murata later. After a while of wandering, Murata was attacked by Rui's elder sister. Murata. A demon. The sister demon encased Murata in a cocoon made from her threads. Murata. What the? Murata tries to cut out of the cocoon but fails. Sister demon. It's no use. That won't work. My ball of yarn is not only soft but also very durable. Murata. Wah. Acid oozed out of the threads, causing Murata to scream in panic. Sister demon. First the liquid will melt your clothes to nothing, then I'll be your turn. After you're reduced to a pulp, I will feed on your remains. Wow. That's incredible. Shinobu suddenly appeared behind the demon. Shinobu. Do you release those threads from the palms of your hands? Shinobu. Demon gasped in shock. Shinobu. Good evening. The moon's quite lovely tonight, isn't it? The sister demon backed off while sending threads to ensnare Shinobu. Shinobu dodged all of the webs with the grace of a butterfly and pinned the demon to the ground. Shinobu. I can see you have no intention of being my friend, now, would you? Not knowing what to do, the sister demon explains to Shinobu that she is being forced by Rui to be his pretend sister in an attempt to stay alive. Shinobu. My, is that really true? That sounds really tragic. I'll save you, so let's be friends. Confused by the conversation, the sister demon stuttered. Sister demon. You're going to save me. Shinobu smiled. Shinobu. Of course. But in order for us to be friends, I must ask you a few questions first. Tell me, my sweet child, how many people have you been responsible for killing? Sister demon. 5 humans, but I was ordered to. I didn't have a choice. The demon says calmly to try and convince Shinobu while tearing up from fear. Shinobu. Now. There's no need to lie about it. I know the truth. The spell of yours you used to trap one of our men in cocoons was most impressive. Meanwhile, Murata is still inside the acid-filled cocoon trying to break out. Shinobu. You've eaten at least 80 humans. Sister demon. I don't know what you're saying. I've only killed those 5. Shinobu then points west and explains what she saw on her way to the area that the sister demon had lied. Shinobu. Don't mistake me for being angry. Shinobu says while having a calm expression. Shinobu. I'm just checking if the death toll was accurate. Sister demon. What good does it do for you to confirm that? Shinobu explains to the demon the amount of punishment it will have to go through before they become friends, then goes on to describe the kinds of punishinobu. Sister demon. Who, do you think you're kidding? Horrified of the punishment, the sister demon attacks Shinobu with threads. Sister demon. Die, you damn witch. Shinobu backs off to avoid the threads, giving the demon an opening to get up to its feet. Shinobu lands safely and grasped her sword. Shinobu. I can see that we'll never be friends after all. Ah, what a pity. The sister demon turns around to attack but noticed Shinobu isn't there. She glanced up as saw Shinobu leaping towards her and began to hallucinate, seeing a swarm of butterflies flying past her, making her feel a false sense of. The sister demon suddenly felt pain as she got stabbed multiple times. Shinobu. Insect breathing, butterfly dance, caprice. The sister demon held her throat thinking she had been decapitated but felt no cut. Sister demon. My head, it hasn't been cut off. The demon glanced at Shinobu and noticed her sword has a weird shape. Sister demon. That's the sword she's using. I see. She's too tiny and has no arm strength, so she can't behead me. So her life is mine. The sister demon reached out her arm to try and ensnare Shinobu again, but suddenly felt intense pain all over her body. She stumbled around as she felt more pain, gauging in pain while she collapsed from whatever is causing it and died. Shinobu. Just because you haven't been beheaded, don't think that you're safe from harm. There are those like me, who use poison with their swordmanship. Shinobu. Demon Slayer Core, Insect Hashira. Shinobu Kocho, I may be the only Hashira who was unable to decapitate demons, but creating a poison lethal to demons, quite impressive, don't you think? After a moment of silence, Shinobu realized the demon is already dead. Shinobu. Oh, pardon me. I guess you can't hear me if you're dead. Silly me. She playfully bonked herself in the head. She then approached the cocoon containing Murata and freed him. Murata came out of the cocoon completely naked and got up. Shinobu. Are you alright, sir? Murata. Just barely. What happened to the demon? Murata looked around and saw the demon laying on the ground with an expression of agony. Murata. Shouldn't you finish it off or something? Shinobu. I already infected her with wisteria poison. She's already dead. We can leave her to the sun to burn. Shinobu glanced at Murata. Shinobu. If you were curious, I'm an expert in pharmaceutics. Your clothes have been dissolved but your body is completely unscathed. Murata realized he's naked and covered himself, embarrassed. Shinobu. I'm so glad. Murata slicked away in embarrassment as Shinobu looked to the sky. Shinobu. Now, then, to find the whereabouts of the demon she mentioned, who forced her to do his bidding. I wonder if Tomioka already finished the job. Shinobu began running to find